So Shaq,
Car.
a lot's been made of, you know, Anthony Joshua, his post-fight antics. But you know, before we get to any of that, you know, what did you think of the fight? You know, the changes that he brought for the second fight. What did you think of all that?
The changes only he knows in the camp. You know, the influences on that changes. So I always say to everyone, you know, as fighters, as boxers, we've got to do what's best for ourselves. The game's short, so if you want to implement and bring someone on board, then I'm sure he felt himself and the team that was the right move. In regards to the fight, Usyk's a great fighter, a great champion, two division weight world champion now, and I think people need to just credit his performance. We all see Joshua as this big, strong, superhuman kind of person, I think, because a lot's been put on him by the public, but yes, there's things he could have probably done better, I'm sure, like any fighter will look back and say, but it wasn't like a shutout performance. He performed a bit better this time. But like, yeah, Usyk was just a better fighter. As regard to his rage after, he's human, innit? I think like that was just a raw emotion coming out of him, of, you know, the realization of what's just happened, him losing again, probably thinking about, you know, where he goes from here and things, and it's the frustration of the weight on his shoulder, because he carries a lot of weight on his shoulder through a lot of the UK boxing scene of what he does here for. He's done a lot. He's a big ambassador of boxing down here in the UK. So
you've seen a massive backlash on social media.
Yeah.
People have been obviously slating him for it, but do you think a lot of people don't realise the expectation? Obviously, you could tell from AJ's point of view, he wanted that Tyson Fury fight, and I think it just seems like he feels that he's let everyone down, and that was just like an explosion of all them emotions. Would I be right in saying that?
I think more in that kind of sense, he ain't gonna more or less think. I mean, yeah, he'd feel now that he's let a lot of the public down, but he hasn't let anyone down. I always say it, after Dillian Whyte, he's had back-to-back, you know, fights which are of names of relevance, you know what I mean? He's not taken no backward step. From when he's won gold, he's just carried on going forward, and, you know, his first couple of fights, whatever, and his career's been pushed massively. And like I said, he's always fought champion after champion, and he's always made defense after defense. So he's had a lot of weight on his shoulder from the UK and from a lot of people criticising him as well. But I think he's, like I said, man, I'm grateful as a fighter what he's done for UK boxing down here. He's brought a lot of big-time boxing down here. Him and Tyson Fury fight still makes sense because it's still a big fight to be made, you know what I mean? Like, that will still sell out Wembley. There's no problem where that would sell out Wembley. So I think the UK fans still be interested in things like that. So his stock hasn't gone down. He's just, as I said, he's just lost to a great champion in Usyk, and that's it. The public and a lot of people rear on about wanting boxers to be in 50-50 fights and boxers to test themselves and do this, and when they do, then they're ready to slate them. But again, it's just my opinion, but it doesn't matter. What we obviously, as fighters, we put ourselves in that position where we're open to scrutiny. We have to be, because we're in the public eye like that, so we have to be open to criticism.
I think you kind of explained it quite well there, and that is quite a good way of summing it up.
Yeah.
I just want to also get your opinion, Shaq, on KSI fighting two guys on the same night. He's fighting SWARMZ. SWARMZ is saying he's coming out like Mike Tyson. What's the chances of that happening?
Probably wrote that. You know, I'm not, obviously, as you know, my fight's coming up. I ain't really paid too mind to it. I know that KSI is fighting him and things like that. And, you know, if there's an avenue or a gap in the market where they're both going to earn good money, man, then, you know, fair play to them. But I've not focused on that. Like, I've got to focus on my fight, and that's what I've been focusing on. But to compare himself to Mike Tyson, then I hope he could back it off, you know what I mean? I hope he comes out like him, but we'll see, man. That's a big thing to say when you ain't had a fight before. You know what I mean? Comparing yourself probably to someone else in the rap game, which is his profession, and I get it, but that's like me coming in the game, rap game, and saying straight away, yeah, man, you know, I'm better than Gucci Mane or 50 Cent, so I wouldn't really say it, and I stay in my lane. But, you know, at the end of the day, they've not been on that stage, and he's not been in a stage where the cameras are like that in his face, and it's so much views watching, and so, you know what I mean? So some people act differently, but I wish him all the best. I rate anyone who gets in the ring, from a YouTuber, white collar, whatever they are. I rate anyone who gets in the ring, but me personally, I'm just focused on my fight and what I've got to do.
And last question on KSI himself. What do you think of all the stuff he's doing for boxing? He's bringing a lot of eyes. I think there are 20,000 people watched the weigh-in live today, which is crazy numbers.
Yeah.
You only get them sort of numbers when there's like heavyweight fights on.
Yeah. As I say, again, fair play to him. Like, you know, they've seen a gap in the market and they are using their platform to earn money in a dangerous sport, because it's a dangerous sport. No matter what, you know, they're still going in there and putting their body through training and pushing themselves to their levels, and they're getting hit in the head and everything as well. So I can only respect that. I'm not going to be here and slating them down, you know what I mean? But I've got my own business to handle, and I've got obviously more or less focus on that. I'm not really tuned and up to date with the KSI thing. I just, like, obviously I know the views of what's gone on from what I see on my feed or whatever, but I wish them both the best, man, and fair play to them. All attraction to boxing is good attraction, I'd always say. So it's a sport I'm passionate about, a sport I love, so fair play to them.
Shakan, thank you for your time and good luck next week.
Not a problem, man.